Another gentleman that's starting to become a family member, we can call it, on our GTV show. A regular contributor is Peter Muscat. It's wonderful to have him on the GTV show. He's the assistant trainer to Brett Crawford, and a more than capable one at that too, as we've said many times. Good morning to you, Peter, and how are you?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. All very well, thank you.
Right, Pete, let's go straight to the jugular. On Sunday, Hollywood Bets Gravel on the turf, the first race. At this point in time, you'll be saddling the favourite, because we don't know about the betting moves or anything else, but at this point in time, Deep Thought is favourite. It was a very attractive debut, wasn't it?
Yes, she's a very nice filly in the making. She was quite impressive first time. She was a little bit green, I think. First time out, Scottsville caught it out. She showed pace, and then she had a good look to halfway through the race, but then came back resolutely late. So she has made natural improvements. She has a bit of an awkward draw to overcome on Sunday, but she's got great speed. So I expect her to be in the vanguard early, and at this stage she looks the horse to beat.
Okay, just making some notes to share with the viewers on race day for those that might have missed our show. Perfect. So, in your opinion, the horse to beat, Deep Thought. Then let's move along to the second race, which is a maiden plate over 1,600 metres. And here you've got two strings to your bow, and in my humble opinion, but you're going to tell us more, I think two very strong bows.
Yes, they're two potentially nice horses in the making. They are both late maturers. The Ghan still has some growing to do, but it's obviously showed up prominently in his 3 appearances at the racetrack, 2 in the trials and 1 on race day proper. Both have very difficult draws to overcome, and it's not a cut and dry race. I think there's quite a bit of depth to the race.
Yes.
With numerous horses showing up well at their first or second starts. And they're obviously going to be open to natural improvement as well. But my 2 blokes are in good order heading in. They can potentially both be involved in the finish, yes.
Okay, so just as you say, Pete, just those naturally the draws are really something to be a bit concerned about.
Most definitely. Better than the rest, we tried to ride him a little bit quietly last time, but we fired him up out the barriers first time out over 6 to try and qualify for that KZN Million race on July day, and that didn't quite come off. And then we tried to ride him quietly at his second start, but he pinged the lids and he was caught out in the lemming race 3 deep the whole way. So we're going to try and ride him a little bit quieter on Sunday to get him cover, and obviously so he doesn't race out deep. But he's a very slow learner. He's very much like myself, and he's also still learning his trade. He was still green when he quickened up the other day, but he did quicken up well. His work is solid going in, and given the right luck in the run in transit, he should be right there.
Peter, before we move on to the next race, and I certainly know you well enough, so I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I don't know what Graham's selections are. I know the draws are concerned for the Ghan. He's a horse that I've followed since his barrier trials. Despite the fact that it is a deep race, there are others in with chances. Yes, the Ghan is drawn deeply, but if he has luck in running and is able to get over from the draw, would you be surprised if he won?
No, not at all. Okay. He's a very well-bred horse. He's a pretty valuable commodity, so we want to do things right by him.
Yes.
And, we're not going to fire him up out the barriers and try and get over quickly.
Sure.
So if he does muster nice speed out the barriers, and I'll obviously try and place him as best as he can. If he were to win, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Okay, lovely. But of course, those draws are dreadful. But anyway, let's not linger on that much longer. Let's move on to the third race. where you've got an interesting runner, Zama, a filly by Time Thief. Gavin Arena gets the ride for this horse. This one's positively drawn. Are you expecting some improvement?
Yeah, she's been most disappointing to date. I think her best run was her first start when she sat just off the speed. And then she sort of boxed on all the way to the line without really dropping out. And then her second start, saddle slipped, so you can sort of draw a line through that one. But her third start was most disappointing. Her work was good enough to be involved, and she never found anything once they straightened. So she reversed back to the turf on Sunday. The blinkers come off, and we ride her a little bit more conservatively over the 1,800-metre trip. If she brings her work to the races, she can be involved, but obviously there's a question mark that she has disappointed.
Okay, that is Zama, who's owned by Mr. Rhodes. Then your last runner, well, you certainly, unless the reserve runner Fred comes in, but at this point it's not in. Your last runner in the 7th race was a horse that was having its first run for you last time. Is that correct?
Yes.
It was the first run for the stable, drawn out as deep as ever, and you get the luxury on Sunday of having the best draw.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Obviously, she's a well-performed filly to date. She had no luck in her first run. She got trapped 3 deep the whole way, and then didn't really fire a shot in a straight. So she needed that run after an extended layoff. She has progressed since then, and with the luxury of the one alley and bottom weight, I know she's in a very competitive race. She's up in class, but she's going to get all the favours from the draw and with the weight advantage. So I wouldn't leave her out of quartets. I still think there's probably some more improvement to come from her. I don't think she's quite at her peak yet. But Sunday's race will give us a good indication on where we stand with her.
Pete, as always, lovely chatting. Thank you for your contribution. I know the viewers that have a couple of them that have communicated with us, value the contribution. Thanks for that, and we will look forward to hopefully talking to you from the Winners' Enclosure on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye-bye.